Hello everybody, it is Timmy Tough Knuckles here, and today we're going to be doing a few tier lists just based on some Supermassive Games, just characters and stuff. But first, I wanted to do a ranking of just all of the, just the games in general. I don't even have a script for this, I'm just yapping. So first we got Devil in Me. I actually liked Devil in Me. I was super hyped for it. It came when I was in a pretty dark time in my life, and it was very helpful. So personally, I want to give it like an A, but from a game perspective and from a fan perspective, it's probably a B, maybe even a very high C. I'm going to go a C, which I feel bad doing because I quite like a lot of the aspects of The Devil in Me. I just don't think the execution was done very well. You know, maybe I should do like an in-depth review of all of these games. I probably should. I'm not gonna get into that like right now. But in the meantime, yeah, Devil in Me, good game. Really loved it, but from a gameplay perspective, you know, they added too much like extra stuff. Like I don't really know how to explain it. This is probably a very bad video already, but it's fine because I'm doing my best and it's all that matters. Casting a Frank Stone, dude, I'm such a shill. I want to give it a good score. I cannot give it a good score. You know, I love Sam, I love Jaime, I love like the monster design, I love the vibes, I love the title cards, all of that. But why is it recommending me Ozempic? Are they trying to tell me something? Whatever, it's fine. So, casting of Frank Stone, I liked a lot of the characters. But, you know what? Is there a way I can close this ad? Now I'm feeling subconscious. Oh god, no. No, I don't want to buy it. No, wait. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm not exactly... I don't want to. Thank you, though. So, casting of Frank Stone, probably a D. Just the pacing is so fucking abysmal, man. It is really bad. I am not a fan. Which sucks because I was just really hyped for it. Honestly, for all these games, I was super hyped. Well, except for Until Dawn because it came out before I like got into these types of games, but yeah. Speaking of Until Dawn, you know, yeah, let's just do Until Dawn next, just because I brought it up. Until Dawn, for me personally, S tier, obviously. But, like I said, from a game perspective, probably just an A. I really like it. It's my GOAT. It's the original. It started it all. You know, I'm talking about the original. I'm not talking about the remake. I actually don't fuck with the remake because of the new Josh ending. I feel like the new Josh ending kind of undercuts some of the themes of, like, how mental illness is so damning. Maybe. But also there is always hope when it comes to stuff like that. But also, I'm not sure how I feel about that, actually, now that I'm saying it out loud. You know what, either way, remake, original, let's just put it in A tier just to be safe. House of Ashes. House of Ashes I quite enjoyed. I want to give it a B so it's all, like, symmetrical, but no, I gotta give it an A, easily. It's pretty good. It's, you know, it has some of my favorite themes. The monster design is just awesome. It's just such a huge, interesting jump from Little Hope to House of Ashes because it's just on, like, a much bigger scale. And I think where this game handled a bigger scale really well, Devil in Me did not. I don't know how else to explain it. But yeah. Little Hope. If you know me personally, you know I fucking love this game. You know I, like, just... I love it so much. And you know what I want to do. You know what I want to do. So I'm gonna do it. I love Little Hope. I don't care what anybody says. The ending is not what people think it is. There's actually supernatural elements. It's just not what you think it is. I'm gonna explain it all in a video essay at some point. I just gotta replay it and make sure I get everything down first. But that's a whole other can of witchcraft flavored worms, okay? So let's just move on to Man of Medan. B. No, I can't like Man of Medan more than Devil in Me. Maybe I think Devil in Me might be a B. Corey's an A, easily. Although if I had to, I think I like House of Ashes more than I like Until Dawn. No, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm happy with this. It goes Little Hope, Until Dawn, House of Ashes, Quarry, Devil in Me, Man of Medan, Frank Stone. No, I like Frank Stone more than I like Man of Medan. Maybe they're both D's. Yeah, okay. I'm fine with this. Casting, okay, Man of Medan is the worst. I'm confident in that. Casting of Frank Stone is the second worst. I'm confident in that. Whether it's a C or a D, I don't know. But, yeah. This is it. This is the vibe. This is what we're cooking with. Alright, next up we're doing a tier list of who like lived and who died in the Supermassive Games. Also, I just want to say I did not make any of these tier lists. This is all other people. I don't know where to credit them. Here. Vali Dima. Thank you, Vali Dima. Everybody say thank you. Okay. The previous one was done by Ordanaville. And then the next one, just so I don't forget, I'm going to say it now. The next one is done by dash. Just a dash. Or no, a hyphen. Not a dash. Or no, I think it's either. I don't fucking care. Okay. Who lived and who died? Okay, first off, I love this picture. I love this picture of Angela. I quite like it. Speaking of Angela, Angela survived. Shout out Angela. Basically, Little Hope. Actually, almost everybody survived A Little Hope, which I was pretty proud of. Almost everyone. Basically, I got Taylor killed and I got pissed, so I restarted the entire game. And then I got her killed at the end anyway because of the locked traits, which was so fucking funny, but at the time was very annoying. But it was funny, so I'll allow it. Plus, it was really fun. It gave me some good memories. Just that first night of playing Little Hope, man. I love that game. It's just like the vibes and just the story and like the representation. I love it very much. Oh, also Mary. I had Anthony forgive Mary. She was just a kid, man, you know. And then for Until Dawn, I'm pretty proud of this. Everybody lived in Until Dawn. All of them. I don't know how. Wait, I do know how. It's because I looked up a guide. Or no, I didn't look up a guide. I had, I watched Jacksepticeye play it, so I knew how to get everyone out alive. But I was still able to do all the QTEs in the original, so it's fine. Although Wolf did die. Sorry, Wolf. Then we got Man of Medan. Okay. So, Alex... Wait, hold on. Wait, I have to think it through. I have to think who actually lived and who died. I know Conrad died. It's getting a little hard to remember. No. Okay. Conrad for sure died, because I remember him dying at the very end. When he gets, like, chopped in half, which was pretty fucking crazy. But it was a good scene. Julia got shot by Junior. I remember that very distinctly. Speaking of Junior, he, you know, hit the battle bus, so to say. That's not a saying. It's fine. I'm pretty sure Alex, Brad, and Fliss, I'm pretty sure they all survived. I'm, like, 72% sure. Which isn't very sure, but it's fine. And then for House of Ashes, this is one I'm extremely proud of. I played it, like, release night. I somehow, without looking up a guide, without knowing any spoilers, or I knew one spoiler, but it didn't count. It didn't count towards saving anybody. I got everyone out alive. That is the only time that has happened, and I, like, without a guide. The only time I ever used a guide was Until Dawn, but that was because I didn't know if I was ever going to play it, so I just looked it up out of curiosity, and then I remembered what to do. But, yeah. And then in The Devil in Me, oh my god, who did... Oh my god, I was so pissed. Okay. So everybody survived in The Devil in Me, except for Kate, because fucking Kate got smushed by the wall because I let Jamie keep the screwdriver, and I was like, look, if Jamie has to die or Kate has to die, I'm killing Kate. Yeah, it was really funny because I actually watched Gab Smolder's playthrough, and I'm pretty sure, did she get the exact opposite of my ending? No, sorry, I had a friend who played these games, and he only got Kate out alive. Gab Smolders, I think she got the same ending as I don't remember. Don't quote me, even though I don't think any of you would. It's fine. Dude, my Quarry playthrough was just a fucking mess and a half, man. Like, Caitlin died. Ryan lived. Chris shot. Travis lived. Dylan died. Laura lived. Max lived. Well, technically he died, but then I used the revive mechanic because I pre-ordered the game, so he's good. Jacob, yeah, his ass got cooked. Did Emma survive? I know Abigail died. I revived her once and then she died again, which is really disappointing. But yeah. Nick survived. I remember because I specifically used a revive on him. I was fine with that. Did Emma survive? You know what? She did. She did survive because she was the one who killed Abigail in werewolf form. And then... yeah, and then all three of the Hacketts died, too. So, yeah. There we go. This is the fit. Oh, in casting of Frank Stone, Stan died when he got, like, bisected or whatever it's called. Jaime lived. No, Jaime died. He got his jaw ripped off, which was pretty gory. Both versions of Sam lived. Both versions of Linda lived. And Chris lived. And so did Maddie. There was somebody else who died. I think Sam, yes. Okay, Sam, present day Sam died. God, that timeline shit is so fucking confusing in that game. That's fine. Alright, and now we got the big undertaking. We got, just ranking every character in general. And when I rank these characters, I'm gonna rank them via how much I like them. And how much I like them is usually dependent on what I think of them as people. If not, I'll always clarify it otherwise. Ashley's my goat. I love Ashley. In some of her endings, she's kind of a piece of shit. But I always felt bad for her, and I know she was trying her best, so, yeah. Madison, what was her name? Beth? Yeah, okay, Beth. I don't care. Let's have C be like the don't care row. Chris is my goat. I loved Chris. Emily. I didn't care for Emily. She was just kind of mean, but I think her chase scene was really fun, and I like her as a character. I don't like her as a person. I'm assuming this is meant to be Matt, this blank square that isn't loading for some reason, just because he's the only one that isn't here, I think. So I'm just gonna assume this is Matt. I'm just gonna assume. Matt's like B tier. I like him. He's cool. Hannah, C tier. I feel bad for her, even if she was kind of a piece of shit. Jessica. I like Jessica. I liked her. Josh, I really like Josh. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's like a literal like sex offender at this point, but I do feel bad for him. Not that it's an excuse. I want to get that so explicitly clear, dude. It is not an excuse. But, yeah. And then, I don't know how Alex got up here. He's supposed to be back there. Go away. Mike? I don't know. Mike has a few endings, I feel like. I feel like Mike has an ending where he genuinely grows into a better person. I feel like if Mike doesn't kill Emily, he genuinely moves on to be a better person. I feel like if he kills Emily, he gets in, like, over his head and is, like, savior complex, like, douchebag still, and doesn't grow. So, But how much I like him? I like him a lot. But as a person, he's, like, pretty shitty. But I like him as a character, but I hate him as a person, so I'm just gonna leave him at B. I think that's a good play. No. Let's do C, just because I'm kind of caught in between. Sam, boring but nice, so B. Dr. Hill killed it, dude. I really liked his character. So, but also he was a douche to Josh in the phone text, as you could see, but, Well, it's how much I like them, not always explicitly what I think of them as people. So I guess just a B, I suppose. And then we get the flamethrower guy. Flamethrower guy was cool as fuck. Larry Fessenden or whatever his name is. Wolfie! Wolfie's top tier. What am I talking about? Curator. Curator is my favorite, like, in-between character for sure. So, I gotta rank him higher than Hill. Let's put him at A, too. You know, let's move Larry Fessenden down to B. Brad? B for Brad. But also, he's fine. He's still a douche. I'm not gonna lie. I think the whole point with Man of Medan was to point out how douchey a lot of, you know, United States citizens are when it comes to, like, other cultures. And even Brad was guilty of that when he defended Julia and Alex when he shouldn't have, when they bombarded the plane. I've thought a lot about these games, probably a little too much. So, I like Brad. He is the best person out of the Americans, but he's still a dick. I don't like Alex. Not even as a character. I don't like him as a character, and I don't like him as a person. Not only is he boring, he's also just a dick, which is not a good combination for me. Conrad. I really liked Conrad as a character, and I watched the X-Men movies as a kid, so I'm a huge fan of Shawn Ashmore because he played Iceman. But, you know, I don't like him as a person, and he's still a dick. I think I'm gonna pull another Mike here, where it's like, I really like him as a character, don't like him as a person. Actually, you know who that fits perfectly? Fucking Jacob. Actually, no, I dislike Jacob, okay? Fuck Jacob. Me and all my homies hate Jacob. I like Jacob. I don't know. Jacob is such a weirdo to Emma, but he definitely feels remorse by the end of the game, at least depending on some ways you can play him. I don't know. The problem with ranking some of these characters is that they can go down so many arcs and ways that it's hard to be like, oh, they for sure are this way. Because, like, you know, like I said, Mike is a more interesting character if he's worse. But I would prefer him if he was better, you know? So I'm just sticking him in the middle, you know? But, yeah. Fliss, I like Fliss. I quite like Fliss. She was the only, like, sensible person in Man of Medan. But was also the only, like, decent, kind human being, too. Well, actually, no, Danny. Danny was pretty nice. I'm gonna put him up there, too. Junior, I just felt bad for him, because you could tell he did not want to be a part of this, and he was clearly roped in by Olsen, his older brother, who I also really liked. Olsen was cool. Then we got Julia. I didn't like Julia. You know what? These two are made for each other. Fuck them. Then we got Joe. Rip to his voice actor. Genuinely. Rest in peace, man. But for the character, I don't know. We didn't see a whole lot of him, obviously. Honestly, all the prologue characters, except for Anthony, are probably going to go in C tier. Speaking of Anthony, I really like his story. I love Little Hope. Get off my dick. Angela, A tier. A for Angela, obviously. I really like Daniel. I really like John. I really like Taylor. I really like Mary. I like him as a character, don't like him as a person. I want to make this very clear. I do not like the pedophile as a person. I like him as a character, but not as a person. I want to get that clear. So I'm gonna put him in E. I fuck with Vince. He was cool, and I think he helps portray the message of letting go very well, no matter what ending you get. So yeah, that was simple. Everybody but Carver is in A tier. Should I put any of them in S tier? Nah. Eric's my goat. Now, as a person, he's like probably down here. But I like him a lot as a character, so I'm going to put him up in A tier. Jason, same. Nick is a better person, but he's still that. Rachel. I like Rachel, don't get me wrong, but her relationship with Nick, I always thought it was weird. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I only started recently thinking it was weird, because I just recently started thinking about it critically. That is, like, Nick is her subordinate. A boss should not date their employee. That's fucking weird. Please don't do that. Anyway, Clarice is my goat. I'm just saying everybody's my goat, really. I'm just putting everybody in A tier, and I'm saving S tier for, like, really good characters and wolves, apparently. Dar, D for Dar. I like Joey. He was cool. Dude, Merwin can suck my fucking cock, dude. I hate that guy. He's such a dick. He's so fucking gross, and he's a dick. And I don't like him, and he's a dick. Balathu and Kiram, I think, represent the themes of the game really well. Plus, their designs are cool as fuck. So I'm gonna put them in A tier. Alright, we only got a few left. Ride with me. Abigail. Fucking A. Dylan. S. Emma. A. Caitlin. A. Laura. A. Max. A. Nick. B. D. Ryan. B. Bobby. B. What the fuck is her name? Charlotte? Constance! I don't know, man, like a D, I guess. Chris. He was such wasted potential, man. Put him in F. Fuck him. Eliza was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie, but still a bad person. Jedediah, wasted potential. Travis, interesting character. And now we're on to Devil and Me. Charlie, I like Charlie. Not as a person, he's probably like D tier, but as a character, A tier. Aaron is my goat. I really like Jamie. You know what? Jamie's going in S tier. Good for you. Kate's probably A tier. Mark's like C tier, man. He's so boring, but his fit goes hard, so I'll allow it. Dumet. I really like Dumet. I think he's cool. Ah! I'm sorry, Emily. Dumet is cool. Whoa, not that cool. Let's put him in B tier. And I gotta put the dog at the top, obviously, or I'll get shot. Plus, also, he's very cute. Or she, I don't know. Morello? More like less of a person in his worth and value. F tier, fuck you. Actually, Jeff and Marie were my favorite prologue characters, other than Anthony. They were absolutely my favorite. They were actually a very sweet couple, and I felt bad for them. And I love the hidden detail of their relationship always being as high as possible. I quite like that. Chris? I like Chris. I love Jaime. I don't know why, but he was my goat. Same with Linda. Both versions. The problem is that with casting of Frank Stone, there's like different versions and like multiverse shit. Does that make sense? I don't know. I liked Maddie. I didn't care for Augustine as a villain. She was pretty lame. Bonnie was fine. Stan was funny. I'll allow it. Robert was a pussy. And then Frank Stone himself was really cool. I think he's got an awesome design. So yeah, we did it. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I love you. Bye-bye. Make good choices and shit.